Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Army of Snarkness. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by my normal co-hosts. You know them, you love them. They have returned from the ether. The man, the myth, the monster, the trio. How are you?
Good evening, everybody.
How's it going, Drake? It's been a while.
I'm alive. Sort of.
I was going
Differently.
to say that's a different change for you.
Differently alive. Whatever.
I have missed you, Drake.
That's a filthy lie, and you know it.
No, I've missed you. You're the reasonable one of the three. There apparently has been kitchen parties and things going on in your bedroom, but I know it's not your bedroom anymore because you have a crypt. But yeah, I missed you. Welcome back.
Thanks.
And sitting on my left, if you thought Death rode a white horse, you'd be wrong. She drives a Shelby, and she also has a really mean guitar solo. I bring you the fourth rider of the apocalypse, Death. How's it going, Sarah?
Your greeting to Drake was awkward, to say the least.
I haven't seen him in a while. I was excited. They're here.
Like a puppy. Hello, Drake. Welcome back. I hope
It was
whatever
pretty painful for me, too.
I hope whatever rampage you and the other two were on was profitable and or enjoyable in some fashion.
We were on a journey of self-discovery.
Did you discover anything interesting?
Many things.
Were they violent and bloody?
We're allergic to Chinese people.
That is a shame.
I thought you knew that already.
No, just intolerant, we thought. No, full-blown allergic.
That is depressing.
On the other hand, there's one less town in China.
Town? Like the whole town?
I was hungry.
That's impressive.
Seems reasonable, and China should thank you for helping with the population control.
Well, it technically was a breeding town, so not really.
That's bad. But speaking about Asians, I found something really interesting. I want to show everyone. I know it's not the same type of Asian, since this is in Japan. That is a Godzilla Christmas tree in a mall in Tokyo.
That's actually really cool.
We're not allergic to Japanese food.
Oh, isn't it the same thing?
No, not at all. Totally different cuisine.
Oh, I honestly had no idea.
You have got to get out more often. You know that, right?
Trio. Trio, did you leave the broadcast booth open?
Why?
I usually do.
God damn it. Sparky, why are you here and who's this?
Hey, Antoine.
Hi.
Who are these new people in the hangout? I went on one vacation, and this is what?
One vacation? It's been like years.
Oh, by the way, Antoine, see who I found?
You owe me so much back pay, by the way. I left my bill at the door from the vacation, so you pay the expenses.
All right. How's it going, Sparky? I'm gonna murder you later. It's all right.
What's on the bill that says about hotel companionship in Thailand?
You don't want to know. I found an Asian guy.
It says something about...
Typically, you'll find Asian men in Thailand, yes.
Okay, I bought an Asian guy.
It says lady boys?
I'm not paying for your sex slave.
Hello, Ren.
But you owe me.
Yeah, I owe you, but you've been gone for like years.
I said I would take a vacation.
A vacation is like a week.
No, some vacations can go beyond even a month. They're called sabbaticals.
Just asking Tut.
No, this is Danish summer vacation. This is how long it takes in Viking country. This is every year we have a vacation that lasts multiple years.
whenever you're navigating the high seas between raids, I mean, you can get lost in all kinds of ways, especially if the sun goes behind cloud cover and you lose your sunstone.
Whatever he said.
Oh, really? All right.
Yes, the door got left open again, Ren. We've got
No.
both Sparky and somebody else in the chat.
Lo-Fi. Her name is Lo-Fi.
Oh.
I told you about Lo-Fi.
Oh, yes. Hello, Lo-Fi. I'm Sarah.
Hello, person who's sitting in my chair.
It's my chair now.
No, it's my. I just went on vacation. What's up with this? This is so rude, though.
Lo-Fi, you sat on my right, not on my left. Sparky is in your chair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I came from Thailand, where everything is backwards. I'm sorry.
That's
That's
fine.
Australia.
Oh, and for your information, nothing was left open. I built the broadcast booth. I have a key.
So I wrote this excellent rap. Do you want to hear it?
You wrote a rap
Yeah. Do you want to hear it?
while you were on vacation.
Yeah, I did. I'm huge in Thailand. I'm a Thailand superstar.
Does this rap involve flutes?
Do you want to hear my rap?
Does the rap involve
No, it does
flutes?
not involve any flute. That's not a rap. That's a.
I don't know if I
That's
trust
a piece
you.
of art.
I don't trust you at all.
I don't know who you are, and you're questioning me. How do you know about my flute music?
Just I'm on the internet.
Do you subscribe to my YouTube channel?
It's possible.
It's called ThailandSexSlave.com.
I definitely subscribe to that. I mean, no, wait, hold on.
All
Was
right.
that you or was that Shade who subscribes to that, Drake? Because I'm pretty
don't
sure it's
really
not
wanna-
Zach.
I don't really want to know what Shade subscribes to.
Okay, I'm gonna
He
play
has
my
his
rap
own
now.
Gmail.
I'm gonna interrupt you. Okay, listen to my rap. It's 1 minute long. Are you ready?
1 minute.
It's 1 minute. Are you ready? You're gonna be so excited. It's so good. I've been really good with mimicking voices.
Oh
Do you-
no. Oh
remember-
no. Oh no. No!
We're back.
Oh god.
This is the Snatchcast, run by a gorilla that can rap fast. Another who can draw and then like 15 fucking lab rats. Brock is getting fucked like he's become a fucking pack rat. Leaf is in the club now and so Brockus wants to tap that. Briefly taken down by some pathetic foreign sad sack who tried to take the viewers cause he's never fucking had that. This filthy little rusky better gear up in his hazmat. If I were you, I'd cover up your ass crack. And if you're not a massive bitch, then I'm a fucking pacifist. So tell me who you are and then I'll show you just what drastic is. I'll turn you to a masochist and burn
Isn't
you
this
with
what the mute button was designed for?
some accidents from bastard kids.
And yet it continued.
No, I can't.
That's an
No!
invitation.
No! Stop touching the buttons on the broadcast booth!
T! Wasn't that a good rap? I wrote that myself.
Oh
It-
god.
Actually, was fairly catchy.
Yeah, I know. I'm excellent, but not sounding like me at all.
I think I'll finally see a sunrise this morning.
I tried to mimic that gorilla guy you had a fight with once.
Yeah, you sounded pretty close to him, though.
I also wrote this excellent flute piece of music.
No, we
No!
no.
Okay, listen.
No.
Pretty good, right?
No. No flute.
No, it's over. It's the short form.
So
What
is this
on
what
earth have
is this what you
done
did while
myself
you're on
wrong?
vacation?
Oh no, you haven't heard the best yet. What I also wrote.
No?
Perfect.
Oh,
Dear
enough.
God, no.
I wrote an anti-communist song. Don't worry, you
You've
won't
been
get
busy.
copyright. It's okay to play on YouTube. I have checked. Because I wrote it, that's why.
No, Ren, I don't think we need to torture Puffed One again. I think that it's going to end up being Lo-Fi doing it for us.
Yeah. So,
Sparky.
Yes.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Oh, really now? Oh my god!
Don't hurt Sparky. That's very mean.
Oh God!
Are we
not
gonna have
the
dueling
soundboard.
fucking soundboards?
He keeps kicking me in the dick. Why? Why does he keep kicking me in the dick? Oh no!
I say you kick them both low.
Holy shit!
Don't
How
kick
would you like to suck my balls?
Fuck you!
This-
Shit!
all right. We have one vote already for kicking Sparky.
No more soundboards, please.
I'm not the only one with soundboard.
You know
I
what,
vote
guys?
for kicking me, so I don't have to be subjected to this pain any longer.
I'm back, baby.
You know, I was going to torture the chat and the henchmen by reading from Not That Kind of Girl, but this is...
This
I'm
is just
thinking,
so much
I'm thinking
worse.
of reading the entire book just a little off myself.
At this point, I will accept Lena Dunham's novels over what I'm being forced to hear soundboard-wise.
Oh no! I dropped my tea.
You had better go to the kitchen and get more tea.
Oh, I dropped my gun. Oh, I fell over.
Why did you do this to us, Antoine?
I didn't leave the door open.
This is your fault.
How is it my fault?
Because it's always your fault.
I have some concerns. I have
technically
a lot
you,
of concerns.
Don't kick me. I'll fight you.
And, go.
Hey, Ruby.
It's time to do.
All right. No more soundboards. No.
Okay. You see, in
This is-
Thailand, I was out at the soundboard farm, and I harvested a lot of sounds.
They have a soundboard farm.
Yes,
There's how does it,
there's
what?
like 30,000 Taiwanese children in there who harvest sounds off the internet, and you can get them real easy.
What?
It's called pirating.
You just go out and pick them like tomato.
Yeah, you get like a basket, an internet basket, and then you go collect them, and then you technically you have to pay. I don't know what that is, so I just took it.
Of course, you don't know what pay means. All right, so I'm gonna do. I'm dreading asking this, so I'm gonna go from current co-hosts to former co-hosts. Okay, just gonna do it that way. Sarah, what did you do this week? How was your week?
My week was quiet. It was. It's not anymore. It's actually been quite boring.
Boring.
Boring. I mean, the trio have been gone. You've been working. I haven't had anything else to do.
But you go out and you cause mayhem.
Not all the
Not
time.
that hard.
And the IDL are not exactly what you would consider to be a constant threat. You haven't come up with any good heists in a while.
He's been too busy reading Lena Dunham.
He's never come up with a good heist.
I have two.
The Lena Dunham book doesn't count.
No, it's not a heist. Yeah, I was going to read more Lena Dunham. I'm just going to ask how their week was first, and then I'm going to torture everyone. Is that okay?
You don't pay me enough for this.
Yes, I do. What about you,
You pay.
Trio? How was your week? Oh, how was your last couple of weeks? We haven't seen you in a while.
Like I said, I've been on a journey of self-discovery.
To Thailand.
No, I didn't go to Thailand.
I met you there.
It was definitely not me.
No, it was the other personality.
It may have been one of them.
John Wick or some shit like that. I don't remember the name.
Possibly.
Who knows? I was drowning in boy pussy.
I'm not surprised at all.
You were there though, I remember.
I was not.
That's why I know the exact length of your slong.
That's possible, depending on who you were talking to.
Your slong.
You were talking to. I don't think it's a personality.
I don't get that. Why not?
My personalities are pretty distinct. My schlong, as you put it, is not one of them.
You saying it's very mundane?
It just doesn't have its own personality.
It's a short-haired, bearded fatty called Mundane.
Do any of yours have their own distinct personalities? Does Antoine's just animate on its own?
Yes.
Does Sparky's just jump off and begin rolling around the floor like some sort of diseased Roomba?
Yeah.
I told you to stay on my room, anti-hero.
Am I the only one with a normal penis? Is that what we're talking about here?
I mean,
yes.
I have my normal one, and then I also have tentacles.
What? Right. But is your penis some sort of ambulatory, quasi-sentient thing?
Yes.
No.
Well, there you go. So I don't...
It was 2 years ago.
Well.
It was the main brain behind the operation. Maybe that's why it's taking a turn for the worse. He stopped thinking with his dick.
What?
So it's getting worse because I stopped thinking?
No. I think there's something really important here that we're not discussing. And that's that somehow this lo-fi person is intimate knowledge-wise with your dick.
Hey, it's 8 inches. 8, what is it, 8.3? 8 times 3. Yeah. That's back when he had his aubergine period. I remember, like, was it yesterday?
I've heard of this aubergine period.
Don't
Oh,
ask.
he did things. He did things you will never forget. He did things so badly I had to go to another country for a couple of years.
I've heard conflicting stories about this
You know what?
aubergine period.
I will be right back.
What? Oh dear.
Oh my god!
So, since he's apparently gone in search of rum or vodka, I'm not sure which one. Sparky, how was your week?
I was attempting to break my computer.
Why were you attempting to break your computer?
Oh, I thought you said breed.
No, break.
My question still stands.
Well, actually, Lo-Fi would know that because I've been talking to her about it today.
Lo-Fi knows about it. The rest of us don't know about it. How about you tell the rest of the class, Sparky?
No, it's fine.
Oh no, it's I just got done watching the third season of Overlord, and
What
God,
is
it's
Overlord?
bad. Oh,
It's what
don't you know
Antoine
it's
is supposed to be, but doesn't quite get to.
Sparky, what is Overlord?
it's some sort of old show that aired a long time ago.
Is it like an anime, a movie, a sitcom?
It's anime.
Claymation.
Ah,
I think Claymation would be better.
It'd be fucking cool if they made an entire show in claymation.
Of Overlord or any show?
Any anime. Goblin Slayer claymation.
That would be cool.
Sparky, do you know that feeling when you have a sound on your voice, your soundboard, and you don't know what it is?
I tend to sort through my sounds and I know what they are.
I have one and I don't know what it is.
Oh no!
I found out what it was.
Ah, okay.
I'm
I
glad
don't
you
even know what that is.
out.
You don't know?
So, is Antoine getting alcohol for the rest of us?
I have no idea. I'm
Because
starting to think that I need it.
Oh no, he shot himself. It's my show now. Hello, my name's Lo-Fi, and I'm the lead of this channel. Help for the talentless, I think. That's his name.
Oh, thank God we finally managed to put a bullet in its microphone.
Thank God.
So,
Nicely
did we
done.
not do anything?
How dare you?
You'll
I am
live.
the original creator of this gang.
You
I
will,
hired you guys.
in point of fact,
In
live.
my absence, I hired all of you.
So, did we not come prepared for anything this evening?
No, I just. Why did Kadant drink all the alcohol?
I don't know, but I think it's very rude of her.
I need some.
We all do.
It's very mean how I never get asked how I am doing.
Well, Kadant,
I was
Kadant-
getting to that.
I was gonna say, well, Kadant just says she destroyed the kitchen, so I think that answers your question.
God damn it, again?
I was just in there. It's still fine. She's drinking.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right, Lo-Fi. How was your week?
My week was pretty good. I wrote this killer rap.
Oh.
Okay, I'm done. I won't sing it. I would
Alright.
never. I'm sorry. Yeah, it wasn't. I'm not supposed to. When that's clearly not the. See, I can't.
Alright. So,
To answer your question, Drake, no, we did not gather what we needed to make this an actual coherent stream for some bizarre reason.
Nobody gives a shit.
The soundboard is really getting annoying.
But it does have a certain point to it.
Yeah. No. I only sound with quality. I like sounding.
So, all right, what do we want to discuss this evening then? What amazing topics are on our minds?
Sparky
Well-
can confirm I have closed my soundboard. He can see that on Steam.
well, I do have, because Ben Cooper, I don't know if he's still in the chat, but I know he was in the chat, has requested that I read from the book.
The Bible?
No, not that kind of girl. And
I
The
rather-
Necronomicon?
it might as well be.
The Ominomonomicon?
It's the not that kind of girlicon,
Yeah.
and it actually is the Bible of this channel since like last week.
No, it's the Bible of the $300 that Ben Cooper bribed Antoine to read it with.
Holy shit, for $300.
Like I said, Bible of this channel.
Look, for $300, I would fucking insert an aubergine live on air. Holy fuck.
Well, I
That's
know
what-
this
what?
much. Yeah, I know this much. That was a heist because anyone to pay that amount must be crazy.
Yes.
It's the Bible. Yes, that's exactly
Ah,
right.
I would have asked you to insert the Bible inside you for
No,
$300.
no, not doing that.
I would.
But we found out on just a bullshit stream that I did that there are 29 chapters that this incoherent, untalented hack has written in this book. And I've only gotten to chapter 5. How's it going, Doc?
Hello, Doc.
Hey, Doc. It's me, Lo-Fi. I'm on another channel. I met him in Thailand. He's a good friend of mine. We drink under the palm leaves together at night with Kadant. And we sing songs like Harry Potter was a nice boy. No, I met Doc in Thailand. Tyro.
Yeah, she met Doc in Thailand, not me.
She met you somewhere. I'm suspecting the lowest levels of hell, personally.
She met him in Bangkok.
I found him in a
That's
dumpster.
Thailand, you moron!
I found him in a dumpster in Thailand. And I raised him like my own. And he has abandoned me and hired new co-hosts. And all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
Fuck YouTube.
Exactly.
At least I got you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
The t-shirt looks lovely on
You
you.
know what the t-shirt is doing?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water.
It's turning the freaking frogs gay.
I thought you closed the soundboard.
I didn't.
You lied.
I did for a while. It's back.
It's our copies.
Antoine, perhaps.
I'm gonna read.
I need to prove that I'm smarter than everybody, so I'm just going to become an atheist. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's what I hear every time you open your mouth. You monster.
Shush. Low. Quiet. Alright.
Fuck you!
So,
that shit!
Lo-Fi, please. He's going to read. Thank you. Oh, for God's sake.
Did you shoot the soundboard?
I shot myself. I missed. I missed again.
alright.
I missed.
Low.
I can't hit.
If you don't stop, I'm gonna have to kick you.
That's my sound of despair. Okay, bye guys. I'm going to go now. I'm going back to Thailand.
Have fun in Thailand.
Enjoy Thailand and your ladyboys.
This is the Snatchcast, run.
No. It's not the Snatchcast.
No.
Alright. I've been requested.
Sleep well, Ali. Read the book.
Yeah. It's called Sharing Concerns. My worst email ever with footnotes. September 27th, 2010. A. Here's the first footnote. Addressing my beloved by a single initial seemed romantic, like the desperate and secretive correspondence of two married intellectuals in the late 19th century, lest the meddling postmaster discover our identities and reveal our affair to our vindictive spouses. We will communicate using a code. That code shall be the first letter of our names. Before I get back to writing, I had to jot this down to you. Here's another footnote. Jot is a pretty casual word for the dissertation on emotional dysfunction that follows. Throughout the course of this relationship, I wrote A, epics, that he would answer with either a single word, cool, or sure, or a screed on a total unrelated matter that was currently nagging him, like the impossibility of finding fashionable winter boots or the lack of modern-day Hemingways. I would comb these emails, searching desperately for a hint that they were truly for and about me, and come away knowing that only they had, in fact, been sent to my address. Like the last 6 times we've spoken, it has ended with a series of long silences where I say something, then another thing to modify it, then I sort of apologize, then I sort of unapologize. Here's another thing. Me. So, beat. Me, are you still there? I'm feeling I was just wondering if perhaps when I say something, you could say something because that is called me. A conversation. These aren't going to get any funnier. That would be a funny scene as in an indie rom-com. Another footnote. Ironic references to rom-coms are a great way to show that you are not the kind of girl/woman who cares about romantic conventions. A and I often disagreed about what to watch. His interests lay mostly with masculine classics from the 1980s, while I tended, and still tend, to want to watch films with female protagonists. Rather than admit that he didn't want to waste 2 hours watching a woman's interior life unfold, he would tell me these films lack structure. Structure was a constant topic. He built shelves, wrote scripts, and dressed for the cold weather with a rigor and discipline that, while initially intriguing, came to feel like living under a communist regime. Rules, rules, rules. No mixing navy and black. No stacking books horizontally. Pour your beverage into a 20-ounce mason jar and make sure something big happens on page 10.
I'm back. Here's some rum. Some of Cadance.
Thank God. Funny the first few times it happens, but it doesn't need to happen because I should just be able to get off the phone and say, "Enjoy your day, eh? I'll talk with you soon." I'm obviously fishing for stuff and then explaining it away between silences. I should stop apologizing for being overly analytical about this, even though I'm sorry, not to you, but in a deeper way. Sorry for my brain chemistry and who I am. I do what I can that isn't heroin to modify it, but I was born as anxious and obsessive as any incredibly gorgeous child ever could be. She thinks she's gorgeous.
She's very optimistic about her appearance, isn't she?
Here's another footnote.
Trio, do you know what she looks like?
Yep.
And would you say she's gorgeous?
I am sure that to some people she is lovely.
You're very optimistic. Thank you, I was merely curious.
You're welcome.
This is Lena Dunham. This, I'm getting to it, is someone who thinks she's gorgeous. No.
All right.
That's Lena Dunham. I think the man standing behind her is more gorgeous, and his ears could get satellite radio. This is a reference to when I told him that, as a child, I was hypnotized by my own beauty. This was the time in my life before I learned I wasn't considered appropriate by society at large to look like yourself. I don't know, whatever. The dynamics of romantic relationships are obviously fascinating to us both, artistically and theoretically. Another footnote. Although he worked a job that involved heavy lifting and hard labor, his true passion was writing fiction, and after much cajoling on my part, he gave me one of his stories to read. It was a 20-page account of a young man very much like himself, trying, and failing, to seduce an Asian girl who worked at J. Crew in Soho. Although the prose was unusual and funny, the story sat with me like a bad meal. It took me about 24 hours to realize the issue, that I could feel, in nearly every sentence, the essential disdain for womankind that was neither examined nor explained. It was the same feeling I had experienced after my initial read of Philip Roth's Goodbye Columbus in 8th grade. I love this book, but I don't want to meet this man. But in this case, it was. This story is okay, and its author has already come in me. Ew.
She's just like a train wreck.
Please. Alright, so continuing with her email. Ditto sex, but it's harder to incorporate into your actual working life in a way that's comfortable. Another footnote. This just keeps getting worse.
Why does she have so many footnotes?
I don't know. Lena fucking Dunham. The first week we met, I slept at his house every night. Time stopped in his bedroom. What?
Footnote abuse.
Time stopped in his bedroom, which was windowless and overly warm. Each day we took a new step together, flossed our teeth, shared a bagel. Ew, she flossed her teeth with him? That's gross. Why? Why would you do that?
Intimacy?
There's intimacy, and then there's things that you don't need to do.
I don't know.
Fell asleep without having sex. If I was next to her, I would too. He admitted to having an upset stomach. Okay. What you're listening to, Slayer Raven, is Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham.
Raystone theorizes that she has a footnote fetish.
I would rather have a foot fetish. That would have at least been normal.
Mm.
By the time I emerged from his home on Friday morning, we had essentially performed the first year of a relationship in 5 days. No, you didn't. I got on the plane to Los Angeles, unsure of when we'd see each other again. I was pretty sure I'd seen him cry a little bit when he dropped me at the subway.
From relief.
Yeah, probably. Alright, continuing on. I obviously like you a lot. Not in a scary, oppressive way. Another footnote. Perhaps, yes, in that way. And not in a I just came looking at a picture of you way. Though I did that too. Another footnote. As an experiment, it was similar to looking at an empty vase or staring at a window. What? I'm going to read that again.
Please don't.
No, because I want to try and understand. Not in an I just came looking at a picture of you way, though I did do that. Then the footnote. As an experiment, it was similar to looking at an empty vase or staring out a window. So she masturbates looking at vases. Or is it vases?
Trio, you're insane. Can you make any sense of this?
Yeah, she was saying that the picture lacked any realism, it lacked any personhood. So it was just a picture, it was empty, devoid of any real emotional connection because it was just a photograph. So just like looking out a window or peering into a vase, it provided no real point of focal, no real focal point for release, just was kind of an empty masturbatory session.
I'm kind of afraid by the fact that you can actually make sense of that.
Yeah, that made sense. Don't ask him to do that again. I'm going to start to understand her, and I don't want to.
I just think you guys are looking at this from a very wrong perspective. This is someone who is clearly emotionally broken. She would make a fantastic Malkavian.
I hope she's emotionally broken.
She would make
We don't need
a
that of you.
fantastic Malkavian.
We don't need that of you.
We do not need her to be a Malkavian.
Alright.
The world is a terrible place, but we do not.
She's already pretty broken, and I could use a friend.
You have friends.
Hmm.
I think Antoine and I are your friends. And War likes you.
Yeah, but it seems like Lena would get me.
I think she would physically get you, whether you wanted her to or not.
Yeah, you two could be snuggle buddies.
She does like to let people sleep in her bed overnight.
Like her sister.
Apparently she did it through college too. Just people would use her bed as, place to crash.
But not
Antoine,
a place to
if you're
fuck.
trying to speak to us, we can't hear you.
Oh no, he multiplied.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
What did I miss?
We were discussing the fact that Zach thinks Lena Dunham would make a good Malkavian.
Oh.
And how the world does not deserve that.
I think she's already a Malkavian.
Nah, I wouldn't know it if she was. She's just broken.
Oh. I was hoping I could just stake her and leave her out for the sun and solve everyone's problems.
I mean, technically speaking, a stake through the heart kills most things.
True.
But if you do stake her, it'd be easier to turn her. So go ahead.
No.
I don't have a heart, so.
Alright, so what did I last say? Did I get to
You gotta burn this book.
No, I can't burn the book until I'm finished. Did you hear about okay, so but in the way that I'm going out of my way to make you a part of my life, or just to figure out what it could be. I was so ready to spend 4 months in Los Angeles, really embracing this alien city of bad trees, letting my parents visit me and hiking, and maybe dating some douchebag just for the story. On this trip, my first as a working woman, I was renting a house in the hills above Hollywood. It had been pitched to me as chic, and within walking distance of chic things, but was small and damp, windowless on 3 sides, and had a boxy, nondescript facade of a meth lab. Sandwiched between the homes of a failed TV writer and with a set of pit bulls and a queer theory professor who wore a bolo tie and collected Murano glasses, I decided that the amount of fear I felt alone in this house was directly proportional to all I would learn from living there. And so I stayed for 5 months, calling it growth. One night I put on a nightgown, stepped onto the porch, looked up at the moon, and said, "Who am I?"
Excuse me. Well, before we engage her desperate attempt to find a personality somewhere in her minuscule brain, Slayer Raven for $2 says, "Stop with sick faces."
I hate to say it, Slayer Raven, but you need to put at least another $498 behind that.
Yeah.
Because that's how much you got paid to read this.
No, 300, Sparky, 300.
Yeah, and then we got and then the 199 was for mental, for booze and mental weariness.
That's true.
Yeah. So technically, you got to pay 500.
You're correct. My apologies, Sparky.
I know map, damn it. My cousin was a Casio.
Okay. A
week?
Casio what?
Calculator.
Oh. I don't know.
My relatives were abacus.
Your relatives? Don't you mean your grandparents?
Well, late
Technically
late
still
relatives.
his relatives.
Yeah, but the joke works better with calling grandparents, because then there's relatives could be a cousin.
True.
Ray Stone wants to know, is your cousin a Cassiopeia?
Cassiopeia? Could be.
Alright, a week before I met you, I quipped to someone, I would be a horrible girlfriend at this point in my life because I am both needy and unavailable. At least we know it's true. Here's another footnote.
At least he was honest.
I remember being so impressed with this turn of phrase that I carefully clocked who I had already shared it with and who I could...
You cut out again. Hold on.
I'm back.
Good. Welcome back.
Thank you. So, footnote, I remember being so impressed with this turn of phrase that I carefully clocked who I'd already shared it with and who I could still try it out on. Jokes aren't just jokes. Another footnote. Paraphrasing Freud.
Everybody
It's big.
book, Ren.
I was gonna say, Ren, it's because Antoine didn't say the magic words, or if he did, he mispronounced them.
What magic word?
The words you had to speak before you read the book.
Oh, I remember them. No, it's Klaatu, Barata, Nikita, something or other. Right? I got it right?
It's close enough.
Close enough. See, Sparky says close enough. I got it.
Then all hell's got to break loose.
Oh, shit.
I have nothing else to do, so why not?
All right. Well,
Go for it, girl.
there's more footnotes than there are fucking email. It feels really good to check in with you, and I'm intrigued by the possibility of sharing certain kinds of concerns regularly. Footnote: I wanted a boyfriend. Any boyfriend. This boyfriend. This angry little Steve McQueen face fit my self-image nicely, but let's face it, he was in the right place at the right time. About a month into the relationship, it started to dawn on me that spending time with him gave me an empty, fluish feeling, that he had hated all of my song choices, and sometimes I was so bored that I started arguments just to experience the rush of almost losing him. I spent an entire 3-hour car ride crying behind my sunglasses like my 30-year marriage was ending. I don't know what else I can try, I wept. I can't do this anymore. Can't or won't, he hollered like Stanley Kowalski, backing angrily into the least favorite parking spot and jerking the gear into park. Upstairs I paced, cried. He cried too. And when I told him we could try again, he turned on his PlayStation. Content.
And just like that, you've been played, you idiot.
Back to the email.
Should have jerked.
Huh? What? Go ahead.
I say you should have jerked his car into drive off a cliff.
It would have saved us all the problem of having this book to read.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm here and you're there, it can't happen totally organically. And because I'm me, I have a hard time sitting with that. So that's why I try to understand if I'll see you when I come home, or if you think about me when you jerk off. Nope, there's a footnote. Footnote.
Of course there's a footnote.
At one point I asked him this, and he responded with trademark silence. I attempted to engage in a sex session, starting off with, I want to fuck you above the covers, 'cause that's sexy. This seemed like some... What?
Sorry.
No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say this is where he would. This is where he attempted to sextort a shotgun.
Yeah. This seemed like something Anais Nin might request. No, she would say, leave the covers off. He responded with text that read, I want to fuck you with the air conditioner on. And I want to fuck you after I set my alarm clock for 8:45 a.m.
Isn't everybody scintillated by the sexting?
I think I would get a better hard on listening to Stephen Hawking.
I closed my eyes and tried to inhabit the full sensuality of his words. The cool, recycled air on my neck. The knowledge that the alarm would sound just a bit before 9. It took about 11 of those texts for me to realize he was doing some kind of Dadaist performance art at my expense. All right. There's more. Or just how available you are to have your life futzed with a little bit. The night of the party when we met, when you told me to meet you on the corner, I was really sure that I would go out there and you'd have tricked me and gone someplace else. And when you weren't exactly where you said you'd be, but you were nearby. Another footnote. I desperately wanted this to be a metaphor for the way love stretches us, changes us, but never betrays us.
And now take a drink.
Yeah. No, you can't drink with the footnotes. I mean, you'd be dead.
You can handle it.
I'm dead. I wish I was dead.
Okay, so the next line is okay. With the okay, there's a footnote. See? I'm just a chill girl writing a chill-ass email, bro.
What?
I read that.
Why did you read that?
That's because it's one of the footnotes.
I think you made that up.
No. I wish it did.
Say that again.
No.
Why?
Because there's another line, which is just the letter L, and there's a footnote.
This is abuse of book structure. This is cruel and inhuman and should be considered a crime against humanity.
You're not wrong. At Christmas, this is a footnote, at Christmas we had to end it for real this time. After all, he said he was incapable of love and only seeking satisfaction. I, on the other hand, was passionate and fully alive. Electricity in every limb. A tree growing in Brooklyn. I headed to his apartment the moment he returned from his parents' house, determined to make it easy, to cut the cord on his home turf. His landlord, Kathy, tended to sit on the front stoop, an elderly woman with a mighty tattoo of a panther on her wide, fatty shoulder. She and her Yorkshire terriers kept watch over the neighborhood, but tonight Kathy was absent. Instead, a shrine of candles and flowers crowded the path to the door. Upstairs, he told me that he thought one of Kathy's dogs had probably died. We called her to see if everything was okay, but Kathy's daughter answered. Kathy had slipped in the shower. It may have been her heart. They weren't sure yet. The wake was tonight. So, my soon-to-be ex-boyfriend and I made our way across Brooklyn to the funeral home, where we paid our respects to Kathy's grey, powdered body, stiff in red velour sweatsuit, a pack of menthols tucked into her front pocket. Later, on A's couch, we held hands while he wondered whether she'd felt pain and whether his rent would go up. I clutched his hand ready. I love you, you know, he nodded solemnly. I know. There's a footnote to the goddamn footnote.
Double shot.
I'm trying to... 5 minutes after I pressed send on this email, he called me. Wait, what? What did you think of it? I asked. Do you disagree with anything I said? I mean, if you do, just say so. I stopped reading after you said the whole thing about jerking off. On the morning of New Year's Day, we had sex one last time. I didn't fully emerge from sleep as he pushed himself against my backside. We were visiting my friends, adult friends, out of the city, and I could hear the children, awake since 6 a.m., sliding in socks on the hardwood floor and asking for things. I want children, I thought, as he fucked me silently. My own children, someday. God, no. Someone, please, God, no.
Do not let this creature procreate.
Then, I wondered if people fucked near me when I was a child. I shuddered at the thought. Before we could get back on the road, another guest rear-ended his car, and the fender fell off. Back in the city, I kissed him goodbye, then texted him a few minutes later, don't come over later, or ever. We do what we can. There's more. Not done.
Another footnote?
No, this is the... P.S. If you don't have anything to say back to this email, it will be some kind of incredible poetic justice. Also, sorry this email is so unfunny. Footnote. I would argue this email is funny, just not in the manner it was intended.
At this rate, I'm going to go back into the kitchen and, I don't know, either bake cookies somehow or blow it up.
Speaking of, you kicked everyone out of the kitchen.
I tried to.
What were you making?
None of your business.
What were you going to make?
Nothing.
Tell me.
No.
Why not?
Because you'll laugh at me.
Are you embarrassed?
No.
I won't laugh at you.
Original light.
Shut up, Sparky.
Sparky will enjoy laughing. The trio will probably just stare at me blankly.
Well, you pissed Jackson off.
That's not hard to do. I like the man, but good lord, he can be temperamental sometimes. God forbid you get between him and his steaks. That's like quick way to Armageddon. I should let Warren know about that. That'll be useful later.
So what were you making?
Nothing! I didn't get a chance to do anything.
Wait, kick Sparky. Why? What'd I do?
So what were you going to make?
Nothing.
You're going to make something. What were you going to make?
Why do you want to know so badly?
Because you tried to kick everyone out of the kitchen.
I'm trying to make cookies.
You trying to make cookies?
Yes, shut up.
What kind of cookies?
Peanut butter. I've never made cookies before. I wanted to try it without an audience.
And you decided to use my kitchen.
It's the only kitchen I had access to.
You can teleport into anyone's house who is about to die.
That is rude and disrespectful, not to mention it messes with the crime scene.
People die of normal causes.
That is rude and disrespectful. You don't go into their house when they're about to die and make cookies.
You just say that you're going to make them cookies before they die. They'll be happy.
No, that is rude. What is wrong with you?
What do you mean, what is wrong with me? It's something that you can use.
I am not invited to do so. Where are your manners?
It's Antoine. He has none.
So, I don't know. I may have to mute Ray after this. He says, "Oh, hey, Renelations, you know that giant cow you talked about yesterday? Someone wanted to try and cattle rustle that thing, but the stakes were too high."
Ren hangs out in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah, she doesn't make anything.
I swear it's becoming like a club in there.
Yeah, Raz's room is down below. You tried to lock him in his room.
Yes. So I wanted him to stay out of the way.
You could have just asked him to leave.
Well, I was hoping...
Now, you want to talk about manners? Let's talk about your manners. You didn't tell anybody that you wanted to use the kitchen because you were going to try and make something. Instead, you just threw us all out. You didn't say a single thing, and you threw us all out. You tried to kick Raz out of his room. That's rude.
Yes, I did. What's your point?
So if you're that rude, why don't you just go into someone's house?
There's a difference between rude and disrespectful.
Just be disrespectful. It's all right. They're going to be dead anyway. Who's going to care?
They do. Believe it or not.
They're going to be dead.
So, that doesn't mean they don't have opinions. They don't have issues with how you use their house.
They're dead. It doesn't matter.
Do you know how confusing it would look to somebody who came in and found Grandma dead on the floor because she tripped over her chihuahua? And the kitchen looks like it's just been used. That's strange. Especially since there would be nothing there.
I'm failing to see the problem.
You're failing to think. Moving on. Moving on.
Yes, Ray, I have seen Beetlejuice. And yes, I understand the dead do care. But she's escorting their souls to the afterlife. So they don't care because they're dead.
I also don't want to listen to them bitch at me for the next however long it takes me to get them into the right department.
Just kick them and send them down the hole.
You really don't know how this works, do you?
No, I'm unkillable.
Ugh. Moving on.
Yeah, Sarah's kind of like a supernatural Uber. Except they don't pay her.
I'm not an Uber.
I mean, you do pick them up and transfer them places.
I end their lives and then pass them along.
Yeah, you're an undead. You're a supernatural Uber.
Antoine, you have a soul, and if I were to yank it out of your body and let it snap back like a rubber band, it would hurt exquisitely. Don't give me a reason to do it.
No, I'm sorry. Ray's right. You're not cool enough to be an Uber. You're Lyft.
Yes, Ren, you're correct. Cat Tuan is being catty now.
Not a cat.
Really?
Yes, really.
Surprise, surprise.
You know, most cats don't have a sense of humor either.
See? Fits you.
I have a sense of humor.
It fits you like a box. Hey, you know what they say about cats? If
They do
fit,
like
they
boxes.
sit.
Ray, if you keep it up, I'm going to mute you.
So, if he goes to the nearest box he fits in, does that make him a pussy in a box?
Possibly.
Does that make him a pussy in a pussy? A box in a box?
Don't know.
Would you eat green eggs and ham in that box?
Have you ever had green eggs and ham?
I have indeed had them, Sam. I am.
They weren't very good, were they?
Actually, they were delicious. Of course, I was human at that point, but still.
Couldn't you eat some now?
Yeah, but then I would just throw it back up later. It's no fun. I will be back in a moment.
All right.
Zeogold, I'm actually the apocalypse rider of death. I just sideline as a grim reaper for no reason other than my own entertainment.
Reed brings up a good question. Sarah, why are you storing your eggs and ham in Lena Dunham's box?
I do not have any eggs and ham. Yes, I just pulled a Sparky and killed your joke. You're welcome. Kadanta's gluing explosives all over everything in the hangout.
This is the reason why I hid my lab.
You'd better bribe her to stop.
How can I bribe her? She's drinking all. She's already drunk all the fucking booze.
Except for the bottles she gave us.
So give it to her.
No! I'm drinking this. It's how's getting through this stream. Are you going to keep going or not?
What, with the book?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
I mean, have you finished the chapter?
Yeah, the chapter's done.
Oh, well, then you don't have to worry about it.
The next one is called Girls and Jerks.
I thought it was the previous chapter. Because, well, the person she was with seemed like a real jerk. And I'm not exactly the nicest person, so that should tell you something.
Alright.
Sparky, you never did explain why you were breaking your computer.
I did explain.
I didn't hear you.
Okay, so I got done watching the third season of Overlord, which is an anime.
Yes.
And for anyone that likes anything sentimental about anything, don't watch episode 8.
Okay.
Just skip it. Never mind what happens to that genre of the chapter and just skip on over to 9.
All right.
Are you still bitching about this anime?
I am.
It's an anime,
It's just-
Sparky. Get
Yep.
over it, man.
I know. I am. That's why I've been reading the Rem novel.
The what?
All right, there's 2 different novels to this. The light novel, which is what the show is based on, and the Rem novel, which is a supported fan novel that the author of the light novel has deemed, okay, this could be a side spinoff.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you're reading a fan fiction?
Yes.
Sparky.
That the author of the light novel has said that he agrees with.
That's pretty impressive for a fan fiction to have the creator of, the original story actually
Yeah.
make your comment canon. That's really quite impressive.
Yeah, it's the what ifs. It's basically doing kind of the opposite of what the main character's doing in the main show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually really interesting.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So, what do you guys do in your pastime besides read Lena Dental?
Well, I only read Lena Dunham to the chat, so that's what I do. I don't do anything in my pastime. I've been planning heists and things like that, but I haven't found anything that the Ideal is willing to release. So
Why are you waiting for them to be willing to release it? Isn't that the point of a heist? It's just steal it.
no, it. Okay, so the plans are not 100% viewable. Is what I'm saying. So I have to know what we're going to be trying to steal before I can, put it out there and say we're going to steal it.
So you're waiting for them to finish the work.
At least on the blueprints, yeah.
Okay. Damn alien, no. They are not canon. Just so you know. We are very unprepared for this stream tonight.
Well, I wasn't sure we were actually going to be able to do it or not. So
True.
I didn't really have anything prepared for it. So I brought
Throw out the
Godzilla.
booze, everyone.
I
What?
brought Godzilla.
That's true, you did.
Do you want a cookie?
Who doesn't want a cookie? Sarah, go make us cookies.
No.
You afraid they're going to be bad?
Yes. I told you, I've never made them before.
So try.
Well, I can't because Ren and Kadant are about to blow up the kitchen.
It's not my problem.
I'm not going to try and cook my first batch of cookies in a blown out kitchen. Guarantee for trouble.
All right.
Read some more of the book.
Oh, really?
We haven't...
All right. I might as well get it over with. Big Cooper's not even in the chat anymore.
He may go back and reread or re-listen to this stream.
See, the alien's right. Explosions reduce baking time.
To 0, as in they don't need to be baked because they'll be in... The dough batter? One of the two will be in bits all over what the remains of the kitchen. Why do they hate your kitchen so much?
I don't know.
I don't understand their hatred for your kitchen.
I think it's because Raz keeps building it.
But we need a kitchen. You can't have people living in a place like this with no kitchen. It's against, the housing regulations.
I pay them, they can go eat out.
That's beside the point.
And technically they don't live here, they just board here.
They still live here. You still need to provide a kitchen. Besides, how will you have cereal without a kitchen?
I go buy it. Thought this was... You're trying to make it more complicated than it is. If they blow up the kitchen and it doesn't get fixed, then they go eat out somewhere else. And they come back.
Or you just go down to the local gas store and pick something quick up. That's what I did before I came on.
That's usually what I end up doing when I'm traveling.
Alright, hold on. I'm going to go stop them. I'll be right back.
All right. Bring me another drink.
Yeah.
Oh, the trio dipped out. Sparky,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm glad to hear that. Did you have your Tuesday anime show this week?
Oh no, my Tuesday anime show's on hiatus until next year.
Oh, Christmas season thing that Ishtar was babbling about?
Yeah, it's rough. It's really rough. Honestly, I don't know how they do it.
Ishtar just kind of stumbles in from time to time and passes out flat on her face.
Oh, I can thoroughly believe it for some of the horror stories I've heard. So it must be a really tough and demanding job.
I have no idea. She won't speak of it. And I honestly don't care enough to drag it out of her. Let's see. What else has been going on in your life, Sparky? Your lab has stayed intact for quite some time now.
Yeah, well, the lab that you guys can see is a decoy. That's not my real lab.
Well, that explains why it's still in one piece.
Pretty much.
Effect.
Yeah, I got tired of rewalking all the work that I built, and it gets to the point it's like you just kind of move away, and yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why the trio went for a crypt of their own. It was so their bedroom would stop getting blown up.
Yeah, that sucks.
The explosions are getting kind of annoying. I have to admit, makes it hard to read.
Yep, and it also makes it hard to concentrate to walk on stuff.
So I'm sorry, you were about to say something when I asked you what was going on in your life before we went off on a tangent. I asked you what was going on in your exciting life.
Oh, not much. Fixing broken machines. Pesky things, they always break down.
Any of them interesting? Stupid mechanic stories?
So far, not this week. Just a little bit of a nightmare of an electrical issue I've been working on, and yeah,
Another truck got hit by lightning.
Oh, I wish. No, it's this was a mistake from factory.
That sounds irritating.
It happens from time to time. It sounds like Ren's having a time of her life now.
She and Kadant should never be allowed to be anywhere near each other.
Let alone a bed in a bedroom.
Explosions. No, we don't own a meth lab. They just like blowing it up, Zero Gold. I don't know why. It seems to be something that amuses them. And annoys poor Razru. He was always having to rebuild it.
Somebody's been watching too many Looney Tunes.
I think they are Looney Tunes.
I've heard the music, so they can't be.
If only it was all made by Acme Products.
I'm back.
Did you bring me a drink?
No, because I had to wrestle the friggin' lighter away from Relations.
God damn it.
But I did find my place in the book that I'm supposed to read from. I heard something about Looney Tunes.
We theorize that Kadant and Ren feel like they're Looney Tunes because they keep trying to blow things up.
Oh. I mean, it's a possibility. Who knows? All right.
I do.
Yeah.
Do we have to read the book?
Are you going to be entertaining otherwise, Sparky? Goodbye, Doc Griffin. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for swinging by, Doc. Entertaining.
Are you capable of that?
No, I'm not. I'm a one-purpose robot. I just do stuff.
I see.
He says, I'm going to shill for Doc Griffin. Stop by and see Kadant and him on IRS. I don't remember what IRS stands for.
Something Ramble Stream.
Insomniac's Ramble Stream on his channel overnight. Hey.
It's very entertaining, especially his Dark on Call shows.
Is Doc on call?
Doc on call.
That's what I said.
So do you like call in and say you have a problem and he figures it out? What kind of doctor is he?
One that can't help you.
Then why would people call into him?
No, I said one that can't help him.
Why can't he help me?
Because you're a cyber demon with tentacles. Who in the hell could help you?
Ren says she was a nurse on one episode.
Oh, I remember that costume, Rin. That was fun. All right, I have something for you, Sarah.
What?
The title of this chapter is called Girls and Jerks.
So my existence, then.
Yeah, this one has a footnote.
Oh, God.
Right off the gate?
I don't know what's the footnote. It's about a comment, a quote. So it starts with 2 quotes. There is a common superstition that self-respect is a kind of charm against snakes. Something that keeps those who have it locked in some unblighted Eden, out of strange beds, ambivalent conversations, and trouble in general. It does not at all. It has nothing to do with the face of things, but concerns instead a separate piece, a private reconciliation. By Joan Didion on self-respect. And then the footnote says, I think Joan and I are talking about slightly different sorts of self-respect. She's referring to a general sense of accountability for one's actions and a feeling that you're being truthful with yourself when you lay your head down at night. I am more talking about sex, but also what she said. This is going to be another chapter about her trying to get laid again, isn't it?
I think this whole book is going to be about her obsession with sex. She should really find some therapy.
I think that's what we're reading.
Her therapy sessions?
Possibly.
Oh, dear God.
Maybe this is active journaling.
Could we?
So the second... What?
It's reaching the point where I actually want you to start drama with somebody.
I could. All I have to do is say his name 3 times, and apparently he shows up and thinks that we're all gay and fake.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Let's not.
I mean, if he shows up in the chat, it could be fun.
For who?
I don't know. Anybody. The second quote is from Andy Warhol. It says, I always run into strong women who are looking for weak men to dominate them. Sparky, as the resident woman in this stream, is that true?
I'm going to help Jolly Roger Bilgewater push you into a boiling pot of water so you can have calamari.
Yeah, but I'm not a squid.
But you got tentacles that counts.
Only when I form them.
Well, we'll see.
You didn't answer the question, though.
So what part of you do you have to squeeze to extrude the tentacles?
I don't squeeze any part of me. I just form them.
mean, yeah, but that's how Play-Doh works.
Not made of Play-Doh.
To make tentacles, to make like the little spaghetti strands, you have to squeeze the Play-Doh.
They're not
That's a
spaghetti
fact.
strands.
Yeah, but he's made of Play-Doh. We've already talked about this. It's been discussed over and over. I mean, it's fairly obvious at this point. He's just made of black Play-Doh.
I'm not made of black Play-Doh, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, you are skinned with black Play-Doh. Inside, you're the same sort of pink and blue and brown and red Play-Doh as the rest of us.
I don't know. I've never actually bled, so...
I have a knife. Put your hand down.
I can't be cut.
Hmm.
Well, you know what they say, Play-Doh is indestructible.
Let's try anyway. Put your hand down.
See?
Damn.
Told you.
At least now you have a knife through your hand, and I'm entertained for a few minutes.
Really?
Yes. I was entertained. Trio, were you entertained by my putting a knife through his hand?
I mean, not really.
No.
He doesn't scream or cry. He just sits there and stares at it with those big, sad red eyes, just sighs dramatically.
That's true. The screaming does entertain a little more.
Oh my god, you put a knife through my hand. I could not be any more unenthusiastic about this. Oh, woe is me.
You make me sound like that stupid robot from Hitchhiker's
I
Guide to
was
the Galaxy.
just thinking that. I was gonna say you talked to my distant relatives, huh?
I'm so depressed. You got a brain the size of a planet and no one gives you any respect for it whatsoever. It's terrible.
And the doors are smug.
Well, they programmed them to take pleasure in their service, but no, they gave me a genuine people personality. Of course, what am I? Depressed. Doors. Think they're so cool.
Such a good book.
It already sounds a billion times better than this one.
It is.
It's not like it's that hardly better than what you're reading.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds like it's better than what I'm reading.
You can probably open up any children's book. It'll be plenty more entertaining than what this book is.
I mean, I could read 50 Shades of Grey.
I had a book to read that was even worse than 50 Shades of Grey, but it did not pan out. Very depressing.
Oh, didn't Ishtar tell you what was going on with that book? Apparently, nobody will print that book.
It was really bad.
Okay.
Is
She
it
can't
worse
find a
than this?
single. She can't find a single person who will sell it. Well, what she told you?
Maybe? I don't recall.
Yeah. You were on a journey of self-discovery.
And apparently gluttony.
It's part of discovering himself. Yeah. He's discovered he really, really likes... Well, doesn't like Chinese food. Can't have Chinese food. Do you like it and can't have it, or do you not like it and can't have it?
I don't like the vegetables.
No. Why?
Well, because they don't fight and scream when he bites them. They just kind of lay there. And there's a
Yeah.
Point.
And they're usually messy.
Excuse me.
I don't like when I prefer my vegetables. I prefer my food not to have dirt all over it.
That does make sense. Renovations for $2 per for me, Catwan.
All right. There.
$2 worth of purring just for you, Ren.
$2. All right, let's get back to the torture. See, I torture myself, but I torture the chat as well.
I'm beginning to hate you.
No, you don't.
I'm beginning to.
Why do you keep ending up in my room?
Drunk? I've been drinking far too much lately.
I've always been attracted to jerks. Something Sarah says on a daily basis.
Sad but true.
They range from sassy weirdos who are ultimately pretty good guys to sociopathic sex addicts.
Yes, that still kind of fits.
Yeah, but which one am I?
Which one do you think?
Probably the sex addict. But the common denominator is a bad attitude upon first meeting and a desire to teach me a lesson.
No, that's typically not my problem.
Okay.
The smart ones don't try that.
Fellows, if you are rude to me in a health food store, I will be intrigued by you. Wait, why is... Okay, so the sentence, if you are rude to me in a health food store, there's a question mark at the end of it.
Okay.
That's not a question.
No. That sounds like a definitive statement.
So it should read, if you are rude to me in a health food store?
Maybe it was a typo?
I don't know. This whole book is a typo. I will be intrigued by you. If you ignore me in a group conversation, I'll take note of that too, because there was a question there. I especially like it when a guy starts out rude, explain that it's a defense mechanism, and then turns even ruder once I get to know him.
No, it's not a defense mechanism. It's purely that you're an asshole.
As I passed the quarter-century mark of being alive and entered into a relationship with a truly kind person, all this changed. Who calls it a quarter-century mark? She's 25. Fucking see you at
Technically, it is a
25.
quarter century.
Yeah, but it's trying to make you sound more important than you are. Oh, I'm a quarter century. I'm the trio.
Have you been paying attention at all about this book? She's desperate to inflate her ego and or get laid.
I now consider myself in jerk recovery, so being around any of the aforementioned behaviors isn't yet safe for me. My attractions to jerks started early. I spent my pre-adolescent summers in a cottage by the lake, curled on a ratty couch in my mom's Mind the Gap t-shirt, watching movies like Now and Then and The Man in the Moon.
So we've jumped back in time again.
And as you can tell, since all of us have spent summers by the lake at the family cottage, we all know what it's like to be Lena Dunham. Oh wait, that didn't happen to me. Did that happen to you?
No, I can honestly say it did not happen to me.
Sparky?
No.
No
Right.
family cottage?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I did find him in the alleyway of a dumpster, so I don't know. Technically, I guess since I put him back together, that makes me his father.
Does he call you daddy?
No.
Sparky.
Daddy Antoine.
Shut it! Why do you have to say weird things?
Not the mama, not the mama, not the mama.
Oh my god.
That's the most entertaining thing to happen all day.
I need to reprogram you to be mute. If I took anything away from these tales of young desire, it was that if a guy really liked you, he would spray you with a water gun and call you nicknames like the Blob. If he shoved you off your bike and your knees bled, it probably meant he was going to kiss you by a reservoir soon enough. My earliest memory of sexual arousal was watching Jackie Earle Haley as Kelly Leak in Bad News Bears. He wore a leather jacket, rode a motorcycle before the legal age, smoked, and treated his elders with a kind of disrespect I had never seen executed by any of the boys at Quaker school. Moreover, he ogled adult women like a Hefner acolyte. Later, I was drawn to images of angry attraction. I want you despite myself type stuff. The kind of thing that Jane Eyre and Rochester were up to. You know, the way that Holly Hunter looks at William Hurt in broadcast news, like she hates everything he stands for. Again, question mark, in a statement. These are not typos. That was dreamy. Even in 9.5 weeks, made some terrible kind of sense.
Everyone
of it.
likes me despite themselves.
Antoine, when you found Sparky, was the Sanford and Son theme playing in the background?
You cut out again. Hold on.
I really hate your internet.
It's Ishtar's internet, not mine.
Oh no, I'm not. I'm not talking to you. I'm yelling at Ishtar.
Oh. I don't think she cares.
Yeah, I know. All right. All of this is natural enough. Who doesn't thrill at a little push-pull, a bit of athletic conversation? But I'm the first to admit I've often taken it too far. It's common wisdom that having a good dad tends to mean you'll pick a good man. And I have pretty much the nicest dad in the world. I don't mean nice in a neutered, yes dear way. I mean nice in that he has always respected my essential nature and offered me an expert mix of space and support. He's he's a firm but benevolent leader. He talks to adults like they're juvenile delinquents and to kids like they're adults. I've often tried to write a character based on him, but it's such a challenge to distill his essence. I wasn't always easy, and neither was he. After all, artists like to hold themselves up in their studios for days and pitch fits about bad lighting. But the careful, reliable attention of this man has been integral to my sense of security. To this day, the truest feeling of joy I have ever known is the door opening at a friend's house to reveal my father, in his tweed overcoat, there to rescue me from a bad playdate.
That sounds a little, incestuous.
Yeah,
I'm sure in a different context it would not seem so incestuous, but given that we're reading about a woman who puts rocks in her sister's vagina.
Shh, don't spoil things. We haven't gotten that far yet.
Too late.
Damn it.
Ren and Kadant are definitely about to blow up the hideout.
You try and take a lighter away from Kadant.
No.
I got it away from Rin. Kadant has it. There's nothing I can do about it.
Probably has put the dragon glands everywhere again.
Once, when I was 5, I was at an art opening talking to a fabulous drunken British lady. Hey, you're in this book, Sarah. It was considerably past my bedtime, and the whole scene was starting to bum me out. I stood next to my friend Zoe. Zoe's last name Quinn?
No idea.
Who, at only 4, was an embarrassing juvenile companion. She's 4. The British lady, trying to make conversation, asked Zoe and me what our parents did if we were bad girls.
That sounds creepy.
Asked Zoe and me what our parents did if we were bad girls.
Yeah, creepy.
When I'm bad, I get a time out, Zoe said.
I shudder to think of what that creature is about to say that her father does.
I don't want to read this sentence.
I think you have to.
You're gonna regret it.
I'm regretting pretty much all of the past hour and a half. Why stop now?
When I'm bad, I announced, my father sticks a fork in my vagina.
Yeah, that was about as bad as I could imagine. Yep. Stop beating your head against the console. It's bad for the electronics.
I'm with Bilgewater at this point. I regret being born.
Kadant is begging you to end it.
No, there's more. There's
No,
one.
Kadant says no more torment.
Oh God, this is
It's
a
like
long
a-
chapter.
It's like a canto of endless water.
No, the next sentence makes everything better.
Footnote.
No, it's not footnote. This next sentence makes everything make sense. This is hard to share without alarm bells sounding. No fucking shit! You don't tell someone your father puts a fork in your vagina when you're what, 5? That sounds like something that is going to get him killed in prison by his ginormous black bunkmate named Rocco.
I've only got one question about that.
Only one.
Just one.
All right.
Does he spin it around like spaghetti?
Ah!
Oh!
God. Drake, corner! That's where you belong! In the corner!
It's a legit question. I mean, if you're
Like
gonna fork
Zoe,
something,
you belonged in the bad corner.
I mean, if you're gonna fork it, you might as well spin it, right?
Oh, God. I don't want to think about that.
I mean, Lena Dunham does get a lot of dudes. She had to have learned those tricks somewhere.
God.
Maybe she learned them from her dad.
I actually feel sorry for her father for
You know-
being responsible for birthing her.
They talk about people being able to bend spoons with their mind. Lena can bend forks with her pussy.
Ugh.
That's how strong that is.
I'm going to...
There's some power in those cavernous jaws.
Oh, God.
I wonder if, like just between her legs, there's just a hyena built in. You know, the
Please
jaw
stop.
pressure could shatter a skull. Like if you go down on her and you're too
Probably
aggressive, she
fit
just
a
breaks
skull.
your face. She just absorbs your head and just shatters it. Just pulps it right there. Her vag just absorbs the juices and spits out bones.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Please, just... Yes, Ren.
Carnivorous
yes,
vagina with
please.
retractable teeth. Carnivorous, cavernous cunt.
I have never been so happy to be straight in my entire life.
Do you think her vag has teeth?
I would be thrilled if she had a brain.
Like is the reason he used a fork because it get in between the teeth and pry it open?
All right, I'm gonna. Oh,
Ugh.
God. We're taught to listen to little girls, particularly when they say things about being sodomized with cutlery. Also, my father makes a sexually explicit artwork, so he's probably already on the FBI's fork in vagina radar.
I don't think the FBI has a quote-unquote fork in vagina radar. I don't think the FIV radar is a thing. Also, I don't think she knows how radar works.
No, I don't think so.
I'm not even sure how you would measure FIV emissions. I mean, it's a fork. I don't think it really has that much in the way of emissions. Maybe it was like a battery-powered fork.
Zergold, I do not know who Cato Sicarius is, so I really can't help you.
It's a testament to his good nature that after the British lady repeated my hilarious story to a group of adults, he simply scooped me up and said, "I think it's someone's bedtime." Because what do you say to that?
My child is insane. My apologies. She's off her medication.
Yeah? It's hard to grasp what my intent was here. You're a strange, sad, creepy little child. We're talking about a child.
Creepy woman.
I don't want to read the next sentence.
Well, what is the next sentence?
We're talking about a child who was fond of pretending a ghost was touching her non-breasts against her will. But I guess the moral of this story is that my dad's really nice, yet I've always had an imagination that could grasp, maybe even appreciate, the punitive. Or send him to prison!
So what we're seeing here is that she is a pain slut.
I don't want that image in my head.
I just want you to think about Lena Dunham dressed up in leather and tied to your bed.
No.
Stop! God,
Yes,
that's
your
an image I
bed.
don't need.
Personally, Antoine,
There is a
with a
theory.
pleading look in her eyes, just as she just asks you just to punish her, Daddy, punish her.
I'm going to set his bed on fire just on
She's
principle.
going to call you hashtag Daddy Twan.
I hate all of the things. I suddenly hate all of the things.
Yes.
Quit
cleansing
stealing
fire.
Magog's line.
That is an
Oh,
excellent
you
description.
should imagine her tied to the bed, deep throating her schlong.
No!
You're never going to get hard again.
There is a
Imagine how
theory.
sloppy it would be. There'd be drool everywhere.
There is a theory not often discussed, perhaps because I'm the inventor of the theory, that if your father is incredibly kind, you will seek an opposite relationship as an act of rebellion. Nothing about my history would imply that I dig jerks. I went to my first Women's Action Coalition meeting at age 3. We, the daughters of downtown rabble-rousers, sat in a back room coloring in line drawings of Susan B. Anthony while our mothers plotted the next demonstration. I understood that feminism was a worthy concept long before I was aware of being female, listening to my mother and her friends discuss the challenges of navigating the male-dominated art world. My feminist indoctrination continued. Admitting that it is indoctrination. We have it right here in print.
Ren, you are an angel, and we love you dearly.
I'm fairly certain that was an attempt at humor.
Ren, thank God. Ren, you are a godsend. That was the beginning of a sentence, not an end. My feminist indoctrination continued at forward-thinking private schools where gender inequality was as much a topic of study as algebra. Still think it's a joke?
But not nearly as useful to get a degree in.
At all-girls camps in Maine, as I looked through my grandmother's wartime photo albums, nurses did the real work, she always said. Yes, they did. You know, they did all the shooting and the stabbing and the raiding and the pillaging. It's all the nurses. And underscoring it all was my father's insistence that my sister and I were the prettiest, smartest, and baddest bitches in Gotham Town.
Well, that's what you do when you're forking people.
No matter how many times we pissed ourselves or cut our own bangs with blunt kitchen scissors.
He kept forking them unwillingly.
I don't think I met a Republican until I was 19.
I mean, talk about a cycle of abuse. He forks her, she puts rocks in her little sister's vag. I mean, it's a weird and fucked up family. It really is.
Sarah?
Yes?
Theo Gold has something he wants you to say.
Yes, I see that, but as I don't know who that is, I'm not entirely sure I want to say it.
Just say it. Look, this chapter is not... Hey, look, more footnotes. This chapter is not going to get any better.
I, Cato Sicarius, Master of the Watch, will not stand for Dunham's fork-related heresy.
All right, Sparky, clip that, and we're going to use it against her.
I hate you.
Okay.
But she's not even a dude. How does that make any sense?
I have no idea. Antoine made me do it. Sparky, you sound as if your processor, CPU, Whatever stands for your brain is melting.
Did you not hear Antoine earlier say that he rebuilt me?
He said he was going to rewrite you. Not that he had.
Well, he didn't fully rebuild me, but he did set some settings, so sorry.
Antoine, undo whatever you did to Sparky.
What? All I did is make him crave Rolling Rock.
What is Rolling Rock?
The beer.
Oh.
Diego says Sarah sounds just like
No
Kate
worries.
Sicarius.
Thank you.
I don't think I met a Republican until I was 19, when I shared an ill-fated evening of love-making with our campus's resident conservative, who wore purple cowboy boots and hosted a radio show called Real Talk with Jimbo.
Real Talk with Jimbo.
Jimbo. Hey. All I knew when I stumbled home from a party behind him was that he was sullen, thuggish, and a poor loser at poker. How that led to intercourse was a study in the way of revolution can quickly become desire when mixed with the right muscle relaxants. Mid-intercourse on the Mobley dorm rug, I looked up into my roommate Sarah's potted plant and noticed something dangling. I tried to make out its shape, and then I realized it was the condom. Mr. Face for Radio had flung the prophylactic into our tiny palm tree, thinking I was too dumb, drunk, or eager to call him on it. I think the condom's in the tree, I muttered feverishly. Oh, he said, like he was as shocked as I was. He reached for it as if he was going to put it back on, but I was already up, stumbling towards my couch, which was the closest thing to a garment I could find. I told him he should probably go, chucking his hoodie and boots out the door with him. The next morning, I sat in a shallow bath for half an hour like someone in one of those coming-of-age movies. He didn't say hi to me on campus the next day, and I didn't even know if I wanted him to. He graduated in December, and with him so did 86% of Oberlin's Republican population. I channeled my feelings of shame into a short experimental film called Condom in a Tree, a classic, and determined that the next time I was penetrated, it would be a more respectful situation. Then I met Jeff. Jeff was a senior, a fair-haired mediator who once cried in my parents' hammock because he told me, "You are forcing sex when I just wanted to be heard." He had his low points.
You think?
Here's the footnote. The time we took ecstasy and, right before it hit, he asked me what my thoughts on open relationships were. Cut to 12 hours of sobbing, not the 8-hour orgasm my friend Sophia described. The time he made me drive 3 hours to his friend's birthday party. Oh, there's more than... Oh, it's not the same footnote. Okay. Bullet points in the footnote. But there's only one.
I think
he had his low points. She's talking about his low points. I got it.
I think she adds in the footnotes and all that just to make sure that you're paying attention to the book and not numbed beyond comprehension.
I'm trying to get there. This alcohol isn't working. The time he made me drive 3 hours to his friend's birthday party, then was too socially anxious to enter it. Or the time he invented a purple cat that lit... What? The time he invented a purple cat that lived in his cupboard and made general mischief. Or was this a high point? But for the most part, he nurtured and supported me. We loved each other in the calm, gentle, and equal way. Jeff was not a jerk, but he also wasn't for me.
Because he was not a jerk.
We broke up. Good for Jeff. As most college couples do. I spent the next month bedridden, unable to stomach anything but mac and cheese. Have you seen what she looks like? Of course that's all she's eaten. Even my patient father grew tired of my cartoonish heartbreak.
We're all tired of your cartoonish existence.
But at my first post-college job in a downtown restaurant, I met a different kind of guy. Joaquin was almost 10 years older than me, born in Philadelphia, and possessed a swagger that seemed unearned, considering he was wearing a fucking fedora. In all caps. His body was long and lean, and he dressed like Marlon Brando in Streetcar. He was my overlord, a cynical foodie whose favorite maxims included, "It would suck to live past 45. Even though he had a girlfriend, we flirted. The flirting consisted of him questioning my general intelligence and noting my lack of spatial awareness. And then winking to let me know it was all in good fun. One night, someone took a shit not in the toilet, but on the floor in front of it. "I hope you know you're cleaning that up," he said. I didn't do it, but I sort of like being told to. Oh. Joaquin was absolutely impertinent, and despite my why iota faux consternation, I was melting. He was Snidely Whiplash, and I was the innocent girl tied to the tracks, but I didn't want Dudley Do-Right to come.
She likes being abused?
I think Trio is right. I think Drake is right. She's a pain slut, and that makes me very sad.
It's not that she likes being abused, it's that she's very broken. She's come from a family that apparently did very strange things to her as punishments. And so she's not really certain how to show affection anymore, except through, delivering a punishment and submission and domination. It's actually pretty depressing.
I need far more rum than Kadant has on hand.
She'd make a great Malkavian.
Yeah,
please
said
don't.
that already.
Please don't turn her and inflict her on us for the rest of eternity.
Don't worry, I'm not going to turn anyone.
Thank you.
Turning's the wrong word.
In fact, whatever.
No.
Don't embrace her.
God damn it! I'm not going to be held to that sort of promise. That's direct violation of my instinctual directives. Frankly, to tell me not to embrace anyone would in fact be oppression.
I don't have a problem with you embracing other people, just not her.
Yes, but certain people just call out to the Malkavian psyche. And she's not so much calling as she is screaming loudly and nonsensically.
I'll bring you a Japanese person for dinner tomorrow.
I'm gonna find one of those anyway. Gotta depopulate Chinatown by noon. Which is difficult since it's already past midnight.
You'd better get to work.
It won't take that long. I'll disbelieve the sun for a little while.
Ren says, I may melt her tentacles, but she has problems.
Yes, she does. We started emailing. Mine were long and overwrought, trying to show him how dark my sense of humor was. I can make an incest joke. Go ahead, Sparky.
So, like this book.
Yeah.
Ultra black, none blacker. My jokes are so dark, they're invisible, even in the daytime. Yeah.
Shade?
No, I'm just being a weirdo.
Damn.
I was hoping I could make Shade read the rest of this.
I would read it if there was a way for me to do so.
And how much I knew. Well,
Antoine, it's almost time.
I know. I only got a little bit left, and then I'll stop.
Oh, damn.
I mean, I have more. There's like 4 pages, 5.5 pages. I'm not going to get it in 5 minutes.
Well, if you rip the pages out, you're done.
He's got a very good idea.
I know he does, but Ishtar will be mad because she won't even let me burn 50 Shades of Grey. And how much I knew about Roman Polanski. His were brief, and I could read both and nothing and everything into them. He never even signed his name. On the night I quit, we met after work and smoked some pot I had hunted down specifically for the occasion. I didn't have rolling papers because I didn't smoke pot, so we wrapped it in the page of Final Cut Pro for Dummies. When I tried to kiss him, he told me he shouldn't. Not because he had a girlfriend, but because he was already sleeping with a different hostess.
Twinkies.
What?
What?
I said hostess. I said Twinkies.
I just want to point out that I think Lena Dunham's style is more Little Debbie. That was actually a joke referring to her raping her little sister.
That was terrible.
That was great.
It was in poor taste.
Ba-da-bump.
We
Too much
went
cream
out.
filling.
No, well, I don't know if she can actually.
She has a fork in her pussy.
Kill.
I wonder if she kept it in there for a while too. Like,
No,
Dad, just shoved it in and let's leave it there for a bit.
no,
What happens when you pull it back out?
no.
Is it like if you stick a fork in a grilled cheese and then pull it back out afterwards?
No, God.
Does she still fork herself? I bet she does.
We went out to a 24-hour.
I bet whenever she misses her dad, she just goes to the kitchen and starts looking through the cutlery drawer.
Pakistani restaurant, and having been rejected,
I don't think she does that at Pakistani restaurants, although I could be wrong. Maybe she covers herself in pita bread and just goes to town with the forks. Do you think when she goes to Chinese places, she substitutes chopsticks?
Having been rejected, I was hungry for the first time in days.
I
We
wonder if
ate
the chopsticks go in her
in
butt when the
silence.
fork goes in her vagina. Just imagine Lena Dunham on all fours, just wolfing down a plate of lo mein, while she reaches behind her with chopsticks and forcibly widens her own butthole with chopsticks.
Oh.
Just think about that.
I don't know, but I can't. I just want to read this fucking page and get it over with.
Let those images sink in your mind.
No,
Just think about it.
no.
Think
no,
about it.
No.
Lena Dunham gaping herself with chopsticks.
No, not going to think about it.
You gotta get a firm
Sushi
grip
bar.
on them, bitches.
We
Sushi
made
bar is now open.
It
God
is.
damn it, Sparky.
You know how you're supposed to eat sushi originally, right? Off the body of a naked woman. And there she is, naked, gaping herself. That's like a ready-made tray right there. You could store 4 or 5 sushi rolls in that. Big ones, too. I bet she could
Ren's
take
got
4
a-
or 5 egg rolls at the same
Oh.
time.
When Relations got a point. Let's don't kill Antoine.
So here's my question. If at age, 5 or 6, her dad was forcing her to take a whole fork, does that mean at age 30-something, where she's at now, she can take multiple forks?
She could probably take a rolling pin.
No, it's forks, okay? She's got a particular fetish.
We maintained our version of a friendship until finally, the following June, we kissed in the street outside the restaurant.
It took you an entire fucking year to get a single kiss?
I was
This is why
disappointed.
she's into forks. Forks never disappoint.
I was disappointed by how hard his lips were and how silent he was once he had an erection.
This
Oof.
bitch is like super demanding and shit. She's like, I'm gonna call you daddy and you're gonna beat me and fork my vagina. And then you're gonna gape my ass with chopsticks. And you're gonna fucking talk the whole goddamn time. That's really rude. Like, not everybody has the same sexual style as you do.
What followed was 2 years of an off-and-on ambiguous sex hangouts, increasingly perverse in their execution, and often involving prescription drugs I'd hoarded from my parents' various oral surgeries.
I am absolutely guaranteeing that she peed on some people.
He'd ignore me for months on end, during which time I'd ride the subway in a beret, imagining I saw him getting on at every stop. When he did invite me over, his house was a suckhole. If I had fell asleep there, it was often noon the next day before I got out the door. In the street, I'd blink at the flat Brooklyn sunlight, cold to my bones. I'm stopping there because I'm going to throw up.
It's
The
time
worst
to stop
part is that
anyway.
the later on, when she goes more into detail about that sort of relationship, he would only ever call her just to take a massive dump on her chest.
I don't want to know.
Just like, there it is. That's how much I love you. Look at the quality. And then she would just smear it around her titties. Her floppy little titties.
Antoine, I quit.
No, you can't quit.
You would have to find another house. I quit.
You can't quit.
You brought this upon yourself.
All right. It's that time. I can't. The trio has broken me. I'm done.
The dementation is working.
No, it's you trying to make me think of it.
Clearly is. Are you still thinking for gaping herself with chopsticks?
Knock it off.
With an entire silverware set buried in her pussy?
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize.
No napkin either.
I apologize for the final few minutes of this.
Like you can see it all. Like she's on display.
Shush.
Knife, 2 forks, spoon.
Thank you for joining us.
Wine glass.
By my normal co-host, Sarah from
Wine glass.
Sarah, the fourth and final rider of the apocalypse, which I'm wishing for death right now.
I may take mercy on you.
And the trio, the man, the myth, and the marshmallow. We are also joined by Sparky.
No. I think I've earned the monster title tonight. Let's be realistic here.
No, you're the man.
No, I think we've definitely earned the monster part. Just remember, Leah Dunham gaping herself with chopsticks.
And we've also been joined by Sparky, my beloved
I bet she could fit a whole wine bottle in her asshole.
Sparky, are you still alive, or have you pulled out your CPU?
I'm still here.
Actually, Antoine, she'd probably ask you to. And if you said no, she'd get upset. And then do it herself.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope to see you next time.
Wine bottle.
Good night. Go away.